A long time ago, on a comics page far, far away. Greetings and welcome to May the Panel Be With You, the Star Wars comic book show brought to you by the Punch Up Entertainment Network. I'm your humble host, Mike Gargoni, and joining me, as always, the Mon Mothma to my Admiral Akbar, it's John Campbell. And yes, I used that one during our Return of the Jedi coverage, but there are no new characters in this particular issue, so here we are.
And I probably said last time, it's a trap!
I switched them this time, because last time you were the Akbar and I was the Mon Mothma. Now you're the Mon Mothma and I'm the Akbar. So, you know,
Okay.
It's, a different reality.
Oh, it's the opposite. What?
Because, yes, we are covering issue number 3 of Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Infinities, part 3 of 4 today. This issue was originally released in March of 2004, and we have basically the exact same creative team we got last time, minus a couple of names, which I found interesting, but it is what it is.
I wish there was more documentation. We talked about this last time, about how this was made, because I have a lot of questions about the changing, who's involved, and I mean, all kinds of stuff about this. The way Dark Horse made these comics fascinates me.
Yes. Well, this time we've got the names we know. We've got Adam Gallardo on script. We got Ryan Benjamin on pencils. Joel Benjamin on color. Still not sure if they're related. Salim Crawford on inks. We got Michael David Thomas on letters. Cover by Rodolfo Migliari. And Randy Stradley as our editor. And minus, though, notably, a Dan Norton and a J.J. Kirby, who got some penciling credits for last issue, but do not in this issue.
Right. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
We had some suppositions last time about like their usage of those two guys, because after doing a little research, we found out they were like cover artists and graphic designers. And so there was some bits and pieces here and there with spaceship stuff in the last issue that was like, that looks like it was maybe added after the fact. And there's less of that this issue.
Yeah, there did appear to be a couple things that we surmised may have been the work of those guys, but we don't really know.
Yeah. But this is issue number 3. We're still in Return of the Jedi Infinities. So a series of cosmic oopsie daisies has led us to an alternate series of events that is sort of just the series of events.
It's amazing how quick these get back on track. I will say, one of the bigger bummers, aside from that New Hope, most of these get back on the rails pretty quickly, which is sort of a, missed opportunity for the whole concept of Infinities.
I mean, with Empire Strikes Back, we had the whole Leia becoming the Jedi thing, which was novel.
Yeah, it was, but ultimately, as we've talked about, it kind of disappointed because it still just led to, and now on to the last chapter that doesn't exist.
Right, and this one is building towards some interesting swerves at the start, what with Han being trapped in carbonite for longer, and we have Leia's confrontation with Boba Fett last issue that was a fun sniper duel. But this issue kind of course corrects in ways that felt a little bummer.
Because once again, the New Hope one just goes off the rails. Complete insanity, and I'm here for it. That's what I want out of this. Really, if you're going to be than Infinities, then you want to see a completely different, thing.
It's hard to top anything. Yoda suicide bombing the Death Star into Coruscant.
But at least take some things. If you could do that, then what else could you do? Don't necessarily try to top it, but it does feel like once you open with that, well, then the world's your oyster, man. Do anything you want.
Yeah, and this one doesn't do that. Let's start with the cover here, because the cover is what lets us know that hey, we're maybe back in familiar territory here, because we start with Luke with Vader with a hand on his shoulder and the Emperor lurking behind and Luke looking on in something like horror.
I don't love the expression on Luke, and I've been complimentary of these covers, but I will say he is kind of
well, it's Luke looking outside the window of the Death Star being uh-oh, it's a trap. We know what this scene is metaphorically.
I do, and I get what it's going for. I just think that maybe they could have done another pass on the expression.
No. Look, Migliari's doing his best, and who knows how much of a time crunch he had here.
As always, I give everyone the out of I assume Dark Horse wants fast turnaround on these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we have the fate of the rebel fleet and in the clutches of the Empire as our headlines here.
Indeed. I mean, he is in the clutches of the Empire, but it is sort of like, I remember that happening in the movie.
Yeah, because last time, remember, we had the little bit of a course correction of like, oh, what if Luke was late for Yoda? Yoda just dies before Luke gets there. But then it sort of doesn't matter because then Force Ghost Yoda lets Luke know everything he was going to tell him anyway.
I mean, wouldn't it be interesting if Luke didn't learn that information?
Right.
I don't know what would happen, but it'd be something.
What if Luke doesn't know Leia's his sister going into this? Though that radically alters the trajectory of things. But we'll get there.
But it's an Infinity.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like take some bigger gambles, make some stuff happen differently. I mean, the obvious thing is what if Luke had turned to the dark side?
We're gonna get to Dark Empire, John. We don't have time right now.
I'm aware of that, but it's just like I'm just saying, like I want to see the big swings.
Sure.
And instead, we're getting some interesting, like, oh, what if something happened slightly differently? And you're like, oh, okay, I mean, sure.
But yeah, we'll get to it. We got our Infinities logo page, a world of endless Star Wars possibilities, except it's kind of limited in how many possibilities there actually are. Anyway.
And also, this is the last one we ever published.
So we cut to, just like it says in the cover, we got Luke here in the safe comfort of company with the Emperor and Darth Vader.
Yeah. And of course, yes, young Skywalker, what a pleasure to have you join us.
Old Sheev here being nothing but cordial.
Welcome, have a drink. I put out some crackers and cheese.
Sheev Palpatine, well known for his charcuterie boards.
Absolutely. Look, you've got to be a good host. So they've welcomed him in. I do like the moodiness of how this is like inked and stuff.
Yeah, no, I really like how the Emperor is depicted in this book. I think our artist here is doing a great job of giving us just like, he's just a shadowy, evil, like phantom.
We talked about that on some of the other two issues too, that you never see his full face is a cool idea.
Yeah. I think there's some good ideas here with between Ryan Benjamin on pencils and Crawford on inks. Like they're doing good work here, I think.
And of course, the close up of just his grinning teeth, and then it disappears into the darkness where his eyes are, and him being like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna happen."
You are thinking of your friends amassed at Sullust. How the message you sent them will warn them away from this place, that they will not come for you. Well, it's true. For a time, I could not see the path. So this is kind of acknowledging that, like, Palpatine could kind of see the fourth wall, and now that it's, like, readjusting, he's like, but everything's kind of coming back on course now, and I can see how things are going to go.
Yeah. And now it's going to be pretty close to the events of Return of the Jedi, for the most part, if you will.
Yeah. But we have him say, like, hey, Luke, look out the window. This is what your friends are going to walk into. And what's this? A whole bunch of Star Destroyers. Because, of course, it's a trap. We know this.
Yeah. A trap.
Admiral Akbar knows it most of all.
He does. Well, let's go back to the Rebel fleet, which is orbiting Sullust.
Yeah. And we cut to an operating table, but it's not a table. It's Han Solo, still trapped in carbonite.
Now, who is this guy?
He's just a doctor guy, medic fella.
And we're finally acknowledging what happened in the first issue, which is Leia accidentally shot the control panel for the carbonite block. And he's like, well, this thing's fucked.
Yeah, but he manages to fix it, and we're going to be freeing Han. Now Han is being freed way later than he was in the movie.
Yeah, but it's pretty similar. He wakes up and he can't see. And he's like, Leia, is that you? I can't see anything.
There's a big difference here that I found notable is that Leia doesn't immediately says you're with somebody who loves you, which is like the big moment in the film, right?
Of course. I mean, we've talked about so much of Return of the Jedi is that, I mean, so much of their arc together in across the trilogy is their establishment of their love for each other. It's a great moment, and it's played so well in the movie when it's like, "Who are you?" And she takes off the helmet and says, "Someone who loves you," and he goes, "Leia." You know, it's great. Here, it's just like, "Oh, Han, yeah, I'm back."
This whole book has Leia being a much more active character, which I really, really like. But it sort of slows down her and Han's romantic relationship, or at least the like acknowledgement of it, in a way that I don't know. I don't think they do enough with.
Well, because they're spoiler for where this is going, but I mean, they try to play it. This ends up being more about the Luke and Leia sibling relationship, but there's also not really enough time to land that. I don't, because I've already read issue 4. I don't want to get too much into that, but I will say this thing really needed to be more than 4 issues. I think.
Sure.
I don't think they land some of the big emotional impact they're going for because of how short this is, and I think, but I say that because I think you're indicating some of the problems already in the architecture of it.
Yeah, which is there's just not enough room to breathe on some of this stuff.
Yeah, because here's the thing about, by the way, you want to talk about changing faces. I think Leia ages about 20 years in this close-up.
Oh, yeah, we got some bad cases of change face in this issue again. Leia's face is all over the place in these bottom 4 panels here.
But the big change here is, like in the movie, they go, oh, it's hibernation sickness. You're temporarily blind. And the doctor's like, get over it.
Yeah.
It's not temporary.
Yeah, the doctor brings Leia aside and says, after so long in hibernation, with the damage to the carbonite unit, there's little hope Captain Solo will ever regain his sight.
Yeah. And it's like, well, and she's like, well, that's got to be wrong. He's like, hey, I don't make mistakes, lady.
I'm afraid not, Your Highness. The medic can tell you more. What more can the medic tell you?
Also, who are you?
If you're not the medic, I guess you're the doctor. But if the medic can tell you more, then the doctor's not knowledgeable enough?
Yeah. Wait a minute. It makes me just think, it's like, I may be the doctor, but I'm going to put it on this nurse or whatever over here to deliver the real bad news.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
So we do get a beat here of Leia being just like, shit, this is rough.
This second panel where the doctor's like turning away may be the worst face I've ever seen on any Star Wars character, period. Forget just Leia.
Yeah, for those not joining us on YouTube, the face here is like, so the squiggly line on the right side of the face is meant to like define the cheekbones and the chin, right? But it just like, it looks like a weird bit of hair that's out of place.
Yeah.
The eyes are just these dark beads, and
her whole face is like imploding into the center of her, like, of her head. It's very strange.
It's like there wasn't a face drawn on the pencils, and so the inker kind of had to just like last minute concoct a face here.
You've forgotten to put a face. I'll just fix that real quick. Like, yeah.
And the same is true for like the bottom left-hand panel where she's got like a weird like dog nose or something. Like the detailing is.
This is some of the stuff that feels like, when I talk about these being rush jobs, these are the kind of things where every once in a while there'll be like a panel that's super detailed, and then ones that are just like a couple lines to indicate stuff. And it does just feel like, I just got to get that. Okay, we're on to the next thing.
Yeah. So
that kind of infuriates me about the Dark Horse, a lot of the Dark Horse Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, and look, strap in, because we're going to get a lot more of that.
Oh, yeah. But I remember even, I think I've said this before, even as a kid, being excited about them, but kind of knowing they weren't as good as some of the other comics I had. Even though I love Star Wars and was like, oh, more Star Wars. But I was like, this art doesn't reach me the same way. Anyway, let's get to Mon Mothma.
Yeah, Leia's deflecting a little bit, but because she's not admitting to anyone else that Han's not going to get his sight back. But Lando's like, hey, Mon Mothma's calling a meeting. Let's go talk to her.
He calls her Senator Mothma, which I thought was interesting.
That's being respectful.
Yeah, it's just, I've never heard anyone do that post, the tearing apart of the Senate.
Yeah. I think in Rebels they refer to us a senator a few times just to like be respectful after she leaves because it's like okay,
Maybe.
we're still acknowledging that the Senate exists, so by calling her senator, that in itself is sort of still an act of defiance against the Empire.
I think it's interesting that Lando is doing that. Maybe
That's fair.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like of all the people. Anyway, it just struck me. Like you rarely hear it. Anyway, and then Lando's like, why is she quiet? I mean, I guess the idea is she can't accept this. Maybe is the idea because he's just like, what's going on? Is Han okay? And she's like, yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's more like Leia can't quite accept that she failed at least in a little bit. Like she rescued Han, but at what cost?
I don't think it's like I just don't think Lando can take this information. It'll break him.
Well, Chewie's also right there.
Yo, that's this is true. Chewie would have a big problem.
Mm-hmm. So Mon Mothma's like, "Hey, Luke's not here," and Leia's like, "Well, we thought he would be here already." Oops.
I heard Han's tripping around the sick bay. It's bad news for everybody here.
But anyway, Lando's still a general, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I get once again with these. I suppose the ideas were to presume the events beforehand have happened exactly as we know them up to this point, right?
Sure. Yeah, we have to assume that because nothing says otherwise.
Correct. Yeah, and so they said like, all right, well, we're basically it's like Mon Mothma's the one who's like, oh, let's get us back on track to Return of the Jedi stuff. All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna assemble the fleet for an attack on the Death Star.
But another big swerve here: we have a ground advanced force on the ground on Endor already.
Yes, that's another change here. Is we've already got like a commando unit down there.
And cut to that commando unit.
Yep. Which I will say is an interesting swerve. The only problem with this is like drama is I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, I mean, we cut to some commandos in the forests of Endor. They're breaking into the bunker to shut down the shield generator. We get a quick aside saying, we're lucky the locals haven't spotted us. I heard they eat people.
Right, Ewoks. Remember everybody?
Yeah. And look, can confirm Ewoks do, in fact, eat people.
I mean, yes.
They were moments away from eating our heroes in the movie.
And it's not shown, but I always assumed they were roasting up some stormtroopers, right?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Where do you think those empty helmets came that they were using as drums at the end of the movie?
Yeah, they were like, can't cook that. Throw that on a stick over there. So they... they're making a play here for the bunker that has the shield generator, but then, what's this?
It's a trap, because just like it is in the movie, we got an AT-ST showing up, a whole squad of stormtroopers.
Where'd they come from?
I'm going to go the Empire? That's where they came from?
It is always that thing, though, about like, you guys didn't sense or feel or hear an AT-ST clomping through the forest? Like, I could believe that the, stormtroopers snuck up on them, but the fucking walker snuck up on you?
But it is, of course, a trap. We got to get those guys out of there, but we can't contact them. We're being jammed, so we can only do what we got to do, which is attack!
Yep. Pew, 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 pew!
So again, we don't know who any of these guys are. I'm guessing they're just random rebels.
Yeah. This is when you would go to like Toys R Us as a kid, and all that was left on the peg was Rebel Trooper, and there'd be like 7 on you. Like, oh.
It's a Rebel Trooper parentheses Endor.
Yes, that's it exactly, and you just be like, oh. Anyway, so they're attacking. Meanwhile, we cut back to sad, blind Han.
Can't believe I'm gonna miss all the fun.
Oh.
Because, we got Han in a, blindfold here because he's not getting his eyesight back.
I was really hoping, and once again, spoiler, this doesn't happen, but cybernetic eyes or a cool visor or something.
Or Zatoichi Gunslinger.
Oh, well, now that would be rad. Like Johnny Depp in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Sure, yeah.
Rad. He's just like, I hear you over there. I mean, we'll get to they. Well, no, they don't really. They're gonna halfway do that, or like a quarter of a way do that, I guess. Anyway,
But
we'll get to that.
Han can't come on the final mission because he can't fly the Millennium Falcon anymore. Can't shoot. Can't really do much of anything, unfortunately, because he's newly blind. Now, will he be able to, with time, overcome this this maiming that he's undergone? But for now, no.
Probably, but not in 4 issues.
Yeah,
or 2, as the case is actually. And so it's just like Lando's like, yeah, that's real sad. Anyway, Chewie, don't miss that spot there.
Leia's still kind of sticking with him, but she's clearly not feeling the vibe here. She has a lot in her mind. People keep asking her what's wrong.
I also like Han. He's blind. We're about to Death Star, but he's like, what are you thinking about, Luke?
And like, maybe in a way she is.
Yeah. In a way, in a sibling way.
Yeah.
Why would I think that?
But maybe she is, because they're about to receive a transmission from that very same Luke.
Mm-hmm. I wonder. By the way, can I just say, you know what line I would never, what should just be banned ever is, I wonder what that could be. No one has ever said that. That is such bad like script writing. I wonder what could be in there.
But John, what if it's at the beginning of a page flip? Yeah. That ellipses is prompting the reader to turn the page.
I was about to put this comic down, but I too wonder what it could be. Han does apologize for being like, sorry, I know you're all just worried about Luke. Look, I'm blind and upset, okay?
Yeah. Han's also going through some stuff. Han, like Leia in the movie, Han is sort of like absolutely not a character in this book, really.
Oh, Lord, no. Absolutely not. I mean, that is the like, oh, that's an interesting idea. Han's blind. It's like, what do you do with that? Nothing really.
Yeah.
We don't really
have no time.
Yeah, we just don't have the time to develop that into anything, really. You're just like, see, that's different. Yeah.
But we got a transmission here coming in for Admiral Akbar and Mon Mothma, and it's not the scouts on Endor. It is, in fact, Luke Skywalker.
Because we saw him record this before in the last issue, before he went, before he was captured by Vader.
Right. We saw him record a couple of transmissions. One he recorded on Dagobah, and then one he recorded just before he got captured by Vader. And we're about to hear both of them.
I did want to hear, he goes, hello, Leia, everyone. I hope you found Han, that he's there with you. And Han goes, I sure am, kid. I just want somebody to go, he can't hear you. It's a message. It's recorded. I can't fucking see.
Anyway, Luke just pulls the Band-Aid right off, which I found interesting.
Yeah. I do like these, like, hello, Leia, everyone, but mainly Leia.
Leia, this message is mostly for you. I wanted to tell you this in person, but if you're watching this, then that wasn't possible. I don't know how to break this gently, so I'm just going to say it. Leia, I learned tonight that you and I are brother and sister, and that's the good news. The bad news is Darth Vader is our dad.
Lot coming at you real fast.
Imagine all of that just in like the space of 5 seconds being told to
we
you.
Talked about this in when we did the adaptation. I love the way it's written in the movie and the way he says it. The whole thing about the Force is strong in my family. I have it. My father has it. My sister has it. And he sort of lets Leia come to the realization. Right. Here he's just like, no time. Here's what it is. We're siblings. Darth Vader's our father. It's messed up, I know, but we just got we got to move past that and get to a bunch more stuff. Yeah. And Leia's, I mean, once again, the face is so bad. Her just being like,
yeah, you'd expect like shock and startlement, and that's what they're going for. But you end up losing a lot of the likeness of Carrie Fisher in these moments.
And they try to do a thing here that I think is just a tough, subtle move for a comic to pull off, of her doing like a and
staggering backwards and like sitting down.
Somebody take me over to Leia so I can help her. What? She's already unconscious? Okay. No.
And I just want to point out Mon Mothma's neck in that bottom panel.
Oh! Horrifying. What neck? It's just like a mound of flesh.
It looks like Vincent D'Onofrio's head in Men in Black.
Does it? Yeah, I don't know what kind of fucking Cronenberg character she's turned into.
The Thing has crept onto the
it's
bridge
actually,
of Home 1.
It was Rob Bottin's finest makeup work here to do. There's a pitch, by the way, The Thing in Star Wars.
I mean, I'd watch that movie.
Yeah. Star Wars body horror? Let's do it, Disney.
I mean, I've actually read quite a few novels that are just that, but...
Well, there's the whole... I mean, we've long talked about those zombie Stormtrooper novels.
Well, there's the Stormtrooper one, but then the, what is it? Red Harvest, the second of the zombie novels, takes place in the Old Republic at like a Sith academy, and there are some messed up bits in that book.
I like those. I would love to see Star Wars go a little bit more horror, you know?
And then there's all the stuff in the High Republic books that are happening with the Drengir has been pretty, like, body horror coded as well.
The Ahsoka with the Thrawn's like Death Troopers, you know, that definitely implied some stuff.
It got there a little bit, but not quite the, like, well, you need to see a Stormtrooper missing a jaw.
No, it doesn't get to the body horror, but it at least opens the door to some more, you know, darker horror stuff that I would love to see somebody do something with. And I think actually Tony Gilroy said that there's a horror thing being bandied about.
Could be fun.
So, yeah. But he's also like, I also don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So she's stumbled over by that information. And but but
Luke is just barreling on.
Recovers quick, though, I will say. Because, yeah, Luke's like, anyway, sorry, had to get that out of the way. Now, here's the other part.
The rebellion must stay as far away from Vader and the Emperor as possible. They're leading you into a trap.
Yeah, and then it's like, ooh, didn't we just launch the entire fleet over there? Ooh.
Yeah, Leia does say, when Han asks if she's okay, she says, I'm okay, Han. I feel like I've always known this, somehow.
Yeah, I mean, which is kind of what she says in the movie, but here it's just so quick that you're like, okay. I want Han to be like, you wait a minute, didn't you kiss him? Wait a minute.
I was there when that happened once.
Give me a second here. That doesn't add up. It's almost like that was a decision made later. Anyway, he goes, but Luke's basically just like, hey, don't worry about me. Just take care of yourselves. I'll be fine, I guess.
But also, second message.
Yeah.
As Akbar says, but wait, there's more.
I need lines. And then it's just like, okay, hold on. Addendum to last message.
And it's a little bit broken up. He goes, caught in tractor beam. It's a Star Destroyer. Do not, I repeat, do not attempt to rescue. Go with the attack as planned. May the Force be with you all.
Mm-hmm.
Which they don't necessarily... Do they know that those two statements contradict each other? Because he says, don't come to rescue me. But then he says, go on with the attack as planned.
I don't think they do.
Because Leia immediately says, we have to mount a rescue operation. We have to go to the Death Star and save Luke. But their plan is to attack the Death Star. And Luke says, don't do that. In the first message.
Is the idea, and I'm having this, the comics make is the idea is like, just destroy the Death Star. Don't try to save me. Is that the...
Maybe, but I guess
mount a rescue operation?
Luke doesn't know when he gets captured that he's being brought to the Death Star, I suppose.
Oh, I guess that, yes, I suppose that's true. So they don't know.
But then Leia says we have to go to the Death Star and save Luke.
Okay, wait, then that makes no sense.
Something here. But she's got Force senses now, so who knows?
Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I don't know. And then everybody, we have to, But then you've got Akbar being like, what? And then Lando saying, that's crazy. Even though just a second ago he was going, we're going to go fly to the Death Star.
I mean, Lando does say here, we don't even know he's on the Death Star. And Leia says, I know, I feel it.
Yeah. But it almost feels like the reaction should be more like, well, good, we were going there anyway. I don't know. Yeah, it's not super well written.
And again, there's just no time here to.
No, it's just they just are barreling forward.
And
This happens
Han
very
says, Lando's right. I know you don't want to hear it, but the best thing we can do is go ahead with our plans. The plans being to attack the Death Star.
Yeah, so that's not contradicting anything. Why am I even saying this? And that's what Luke wanted. Yeah, and so she's like, okay, well, I'm sorry I caused a scene is a horrible line of dialogue for Leia.
Yeah, and she says, I'm going to my room.
Me and my lady feelings are really putting a damper on things.
Jeez.
Yeah, sorry I caused a scene.
I mean, she did just find out Darth Vader is her dad.
I know, it does seem like they could cut her a lot of slack. Must be that time of the month.
Jeez. Speaking of that time of the month, cut back to Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, yeah. And I love the implication that's like, he's been monologuing this entire time we've been away, right?
Think of it, Skywalker. You could already hear the screams of your friends. I feel your anger rising, but it is not yet enough for you to take up your lightsaber. But soon, when the screams of your friends are genuine, then we shall see. Yes,
I mean,
we shall see.
This is a less subtle version of what he's doing in the movie, right? Which is basically just like, ooh, I bet that pisses you off, doesn't it? Ooh, I bet you want to kill me for that. I would. You know, like, yeah.
The repeating of the line, the screams of your friends.
Oh, the screams. I can hear them now. Ooh, they fill me with joy.
Luke fighting his anger, though. We get I love the last panel here of the Emperor just behind Luke with Luke's angry eyebrows.
Great. Yeah. And I like the cutaway to Vader. You know, it's a reaction shot to an unmoving mask, but still the idea that there's something going on behind those eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Is cool. And I like the idea, too, about I feel your anger rising, but that could also be applying to Vader because we've now, cut over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to Lando and Chewie. And
they're fixing up the Falcon.
Totally dejected Han Solo.
I mean, he's kind of in a slump here. He doesn't know how he's going to be helpful to anybody at this point.
It's a disaster. I'm done.
His big contribution to the rebellion thus far has been being the guy who flies the Millennium Falcon, and he can't really do that anymore.
Which is an interesting thing if that was in any way focused on.
Yeah. Instead, we get random rebellion officer barging in here saying, somebody just took off with Slave One.
And this guy's face is so weird.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening here.
A lot of sort of like drooping, melty faces.
Yeah, like are those eyebrows above? Yeah.
And then Lando's face is way too detailed and so craggy.
I don't know if it's like supposed to be crags or are they supposed to be just like lines of shadow?
There's just way too many lines on his face, though.
This cross-hatching here that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, they're going for like detailed, but it's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
And like the guy behind him has got a bad case of Emperor forehead.
Yeah, big time, yeah. And so, they're like, oh no. But once again, what is Leia doing that she wasn't? I mean, weren't they all going to the Death Star?
Yeah, but she's going there explicitly to rescue Luke.
Okay, sure. I mean, look, it's a real, we just got to get everybody to the Death Star, right?
Yeah, which is, again, like this comic book. It feels like, well, look, everyone ends up at the Death Star. That's how this book ends. That's how the movie ends. So we got to get back on track there.
But I would posit a question of, what if they didn't?
Which is, again, what they're setting up here is a situation in which Leia is more heavily involved with the end events of the film, which is an interesting idea.
It is. It's just, unfortunately, it ends up still being not that different.
Yeah. So Han's like, holy crap, Leia's going after Luke. We got to follow her. Lando's like, okay, we're going to try to catch up with the princess and stop her. And Han is like, look, you're not going to leave me behind this time. And Lando says, relax, pal, you're coming with us.
But it is kind of like, you can sit on the Falcon while we fly it.
Well, Lando brings up a good point here when he says, I need somebody that's going to be able to talk some sense into Princess Leia.
Yes, it is. He is the one person who's like, Leia, honey, you want to calm down there? You're making another scene.
Oh, God.
I know how much you hate that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So they're going after.
Yeah.
And then
we cut to Slave One flying through the Imperial blockade. They are cleared to land on
happens
the Death
very
Star.
fast. We gotta go.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Mm-hmm. Well, they think it's Boba Fett, of course, is the thing, which is interesting.
I guess, like, how much would Boba Fett actually, like, exchange words with whoever he's communicating with when landing at a dock at at an Imperial base, right?
True.
You just send the transmission codes that Slave One probably has on board.
How were they? He got blown up when... Didn't the Imperials witness that?
Yeah, but they all died as well, so there were no witnesses.
Okay, and they none of that word got back to anyone.
I guess not.
All right. There's some things that really work out conveniently for people here. It's like this is one of those things that's like if you assume a couple things, this works.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming them all because Leia lands on the ship. We got an Imperial officer saying, "Boba Fett, you're late. How dare you?"
And then she just blows him away, which I do like.
Good classic Leia. The weirdest face when she's revealed in this panel.
The faces, man, the faces. It's the faces. And then she takes out a couple more stormtroopers before she's stunned.
With a
very rare use of the stun feature.
They
almost never use the stun in Star Wars.
You'd think if somebody just like landed, came out of Boba Fett's ship opening fire, they wouldn't switch over to stun. We don't even get a line of a stormtrooper being like, hey, that's Princess Leia. We should take her alive.
We see them shoot to kill for so much less.
It's true.
Like, the only time we really ever see the stun is in New Hope, where they know that they're capturing Princess Leia purposefully.
The only other time I can think of off the top of my head in which we see, like, an excessive use of the stun feature is in the show Bad Batch, when we have a bunch of clones who are fighting other clones but don't want to kill any of the clones who are still working for the Empire.
Once again, you can follow the psychology there of why you would switch to stun.
Yeah.
Here it does just feel like, in a moment, you would think these guys would just be shooting from the hip.
Mm-hmm. But
well, whatever, it worked out.
They're taken out, but we cut back to the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon as they're coming out of hyperspace, probably going to meet some resistance, but it might be a little bit more resistance than they are expecting.
It's an entire Imperial fleet, folks.
I do love this page of
it's great.
The entire Rebel fleet just coming out of hyperspace right in the middle of this huge Imperial blockade. We get all the ships, all of them.
I thought this was going to be the last page.
And it feels like a good last page, right?
Yeah, this feels like the cliffhanger here. But no, it's not.
Lando gets the line, we've flown right into a trap.
If only Admiral Akbar had been here to tell us that. Oh, well.
But no.
And so we go back to the Emperor once again. It's like, oh, it's about to start. Ooh, those screams are getting ready.
Warm up my scream cushion.
Make sure you've pumped up my surround sound. I want to hear Leslie scream, baby.
Rare panels here of Emperor's whole face.
Very much so. And who is a tall hat guy back here?
Oh, that's Tallus Haddington. He is one of the Emperor's closest advisors.
I just like the idea of all of a sudden there's a guy and he's just like, I did find this very funny where he's like, give into the rage that I feel rolling inside. You just got, what? You have to, like the idea of the Emperor mid-evil monologue just being like, I'm sorry, there's a message for me. What is it? Oh. And the guy's just, I like, it's all just blurred out. The guy's like, huh?
I really want the Emperor to like lift up his cowl slightly to reveal a single ear.
Yeah, say to my good ear. Okay.
But no, we've seen some of these tall hat guys. They're lurking around during Return of the Jedi.
I guess they are, but they're more background. Just the idea of one of them interrupting a scene is so funny to me. Sir, what? Oh,
And Palpatine is even like, "Hey, forgive the interruption. Sorry, you don't get to hear the end of my monologue. But guess what? Special guest."
Luke, this is so embarrassing. But look, work never stops, when you're the boss. And so, yeah, he is like, but check it out. This has actually worked out even more. Why, it's Princess Leia, everyone.
Hey, a round of applause, Princess Leia.
He does introduce her like it's his show. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you love her. Princess Leia!
Needs no introduction, but she's going to get one anyway.
Yeah. Leia, no.
And that's the last page.
This is the longest cloak I've seen on an Imperial Guard, too.
Well, this is what happens when you hire Spawn to be your Imperial Guard.
Special guest artist Todd McFarlane to draw one character. Yeah. But yes, there's our... Oh, no, the stage is set for the grand finale, folks.
So the big difference here, and again, speaking to the, Leia being a more active participant in this story now, is that in the final showdown, where Luke is witnessing the downfall of the rebel fleet and must convince Darth Vader to turn aside his evil ways, to turn against the Emperor, Leia is now present for that confrontation.
Which, okay, all right. Let's see where that goes. I think we already maybe spoiled that it's somewhat disappointing, but that's okay. Yeah, both the children of Darth Vader are here. Both the children of Anakin Skywalker are going to be present for whatever's about to go down.
Yeah. And if that doesn't change the outcome of events, then nothing will.
It does, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it next issue.
That'll be the next episode.
It's true.
So make sure you listen to that.
Yeah. Because look, in the realm of infinite possibilities, when we have Luke and Leia, extant Skywalkers both confronting a former Anakin Skywalker. What wacky hijinks are they going to get up to?
You won't believe it. Well, you might.
You might. We did talk about the White Vader toy in the first issue.
Yeah. That's right. We did kind of. Although I will say I had forgotten how little that actually impacts anything. But all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go. If you want more from us, you can head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchupent. That's punchupent. Get cool exclusive bonus content from all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network. And as well as you help support us, which is greatly appreciated. We love our patrons. Kurgani, where else can people check us out?
They can check us out and support us over on YouTube. YouTube.com/@punchupentertainment. I hate how they do that. It's such a mouthful. Anyway.
That's not our decision. Yeah,
I know.
That's YouTube, folks. Hey, that's YouTube for you.
That's YouTube, folks, because that is the best way of watching this show, I think, personally. That's just me. You can watch us over on YouTube, see our beautiful faces, read the comic along with us, see that Spawn-like cloak that we had in this last panel.
Oh, boy. The way it curls up is really so crazy to me.
Yeah. Of that billowing breeze that's inside the Death Star that's always kicking up.
Who cranked the AC up? That's not free.
They do have those
energy goes through the roof.
Big ventilation shafts in that room. I got to think that's kicking up some kind of exhaust.
I like a cool breeze. It's hot in these robes.
But while you're there, please comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments below. What are some really impactful things that could have happened with a blind Han Solo? I promise you none of them are going to happen in this book, but what are some things that you can think of?
Whatever you come up with will be cooler than what they actually do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that is going to do it for us this week. As always, I have been Mike Argoni.
I'm John Campbell.
And remember, may the panel be with you.